welcome. This is Everyone is the Asshole with your two hosts, two incredibly anxious women approaching 40, here to claim our audacity by being the ultimate sayers of truth in judging your social behaviors.
That's us.
I'm Adrienne.
I'm Amy.
Yes.
Come and be judged.
Okay.
Come forth and be judged.
There's too much going on in the world to be judged right now, but it is so great. And
Like,
can I not say Happy Father's Day in retrospect?
That was last week, right?
Last week. Yeah. But we
I just wanted to
celebrate
make
all
sure
month.
that I didn't fuck the dates up. Okay.
It is Sunday.
I'm like, oh my God.
I want to say I learned more from my dad last Sunday that I've ever learned.
Oh my
from
God.
him. Maybe, probably not in the way he wanted at all. Is that ice?
Interesting.
That's not funny. But is it ice?
Oh,
Is
you
that a
heard it.
helicopter?
No, that was actually, that's actually a plane. Please believe, I'll let you know, there have been so many helicopters. We have to say at least something about that before the end.
You don't have to say, please believe. I believe you.
The ice raids have been crazy. I'm in LA right now, for those of you listening. And it's been crazy. I'll just say, like, because I'm
here reporting, it is crazy.
Did I send you those videos that I took when I was downtown? I'll have to send you the videos. I was at like that big protest that they shot tear gas into the crowds and all this kind of shit. Just saw tear gas go directly like a line drive into a crowd of protesters whose backs were turned and were walking away from the police line. It's just escalation by the police over and over and over again. This is the other side of the street. A shitload of cops. Nobody even down here. We've got a ton of helicopters. And they're shooting tear gas in the crowds. Nobody did anything wrong. They just want to move them and they're actively shooting tear gas. I've personally put probably, I don't want to show people's faces. This is the water that I brought, and this is how much it was full, and I've used it all up to there on helping people wash their eyes out from tear gas. Okay, this is where we are right now. Like, they're about to march, and there's like a lot of unhoused people that are here. We've been trying to give masks to people who don't have them because it's full of tear gas. Look at the militarization and the escalation of this. What even is that? This is civilians that are protesting. We've been out here. It's peaceful, whatever you want to call it. It's been non-violent. Every single escalation that's happened has been because of the cops. This is insane. They're all putting on their gas masks. Oh my God, fuck. Totally necessary. Show of force. Oh God. Oh no. Okay, we gotta get out of here.
Hurry up before they start making us. I'm gonna just get stuck in this pipe.
I don't want to get stuck again.
Yeah, turn right.
Okay.
Oh my God.
That's crazy. Oh no, are we stuck again? There's horse poop everywhere. Oh my God. All right, we'll come back to this news coverage. Very peaceful protest. You can hear all the sounds of all the honking in support. I'm not trying to show anybody's faces. We're doing it, and for what? We saw them pulling out horses across the street. For what? Totally peaceful here. We're just standing here, completely peaceful, Not even a big crowd behind me. I'm not going to show any faces, but not very many people. Everybody's just standing, even silently, holding signs. I think they're about to push us forward again. We're not, you know, without doing anything, literally nothing. Charged with.
Definitely not my knife.
He did nothing wrong. We watched the whole entire thing. They just didn't like what he was saying, and he got tackled to the fucking ground and is being detained. And this is supposed to be protecting the people of California. Instead, they're doing Trump's fucking dirty work. Shame. Okay, so the LAPD told us to come over here. The CHP is telling us they won't let us out. So we are fully trapped in between Temple and Aliso. We've been watching people's eyes out from tear gas. We ended up on a side street and just saw the craziest amount of police I've ever seen in my entire life. One of the people I was with got arrested right in front of my face. I saw the entire thing. He got arrested because a cop didn't like what he was saying, which, by the way, is not a grounds for arrest. I thought we were in the United States of America.
First Amendment.
Right, exactly. He just pissed the cop off. The cop took him to the ground, you know, like right in front of me. I saw the whole thing. And then started hollering at me because I was like, what did he do? Why are you arresting him? Tell me why you're arresting him. Like, he didn't do anything. I saw what he did. And he was like, do you want to be next? I think
I would have
Can
had
you see
such
me?
a.
Okay, there you are.
It's blurry, but it says actual recording in higher quality. Yeah,
Love it.
it
Hey,
all
it's-
comes out in the wash. There you are. I would have had such a hard time not saying, like, with what? Your 4 hands? Like, you have 2 hands. You just tackled my friend.
Right.
How are you gonna arrest me?
No, literally, I was like, what the fuck? Blah, 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 blah. And the guy was like, you're going to be next. You're going to be next if you keep talking shit. And my friend was there with me, and she's like, and it was her husband that got arrested. And then we were trying to figure out where he was. We're walking all around, and they were shooting tear gas, and we got kind of funneled down one side street, and there's a police line right here, and there's a police line over here. Right. And then here's the big crowd of protesters. We got kind of like off on this side street. Then we see, I'll send you the videos, all this tear gas being shot from the police line into the crowd.
Is
So
is it the LA police?
it was LAPD.
They were okay.
And so this is the
news. He is
Yeah.
trolling so great on Twitter
He's-
right now,
he's
but I
doing
guess
good
he
trolling.
doesn't have his LAPD in line.
Well, and this is the other thing I was going to say. Like, it feels really weird to be here in this place at this time because it feels kind of like you're living in a fragmented reality because, like, you're seeing things with your own eyes.
Yeah.
You're hearing something and you're hearing something else. So, like, the way Trump is talking about it's totally wrong. But also the way that Gavin
Because
Newsom
truth is
and
dead.
Bass, exactly. They're talking about it wrong. I'm seeing what I'm seeing on the ground. It matches nothing that I'm hearing from Republicans or Democrats. Do you know what I mean? So I feel crazy. But we were there.
That
We
is-
saw the
That actually is abuse. It is denying your reality. It's
Yes, that's true. It's
gaslighting.
like gaslighting. They're both gaslighting. All of Los Angeles is being gaslit for sure by
You are
both
being double
sides.
penetrated gaslit.
And doesn't that and it feels as horrible as it sounds. But let me tell you, this is the last thing I'll say about it, and we can totally move on. But like, we saw the tear gas canisters, right? And we start feeling like we're just on this side street, and even the little bit that we're feeling, I'm like, oh shit, my eyes, like my throat. And I had brought this big, huge gallon jug of water, and for this purpose,
Probably only had 2 sips all day.
all this press. Well, yeah, because I brought it literally to be like, okay, we can drink it, or if
For that.
people have, we can.
Sure.
Sure enough, all
Love
of these
that prep
members of
mentality.
the press come down. They're all wearing their press gear, and they're all like spitting, coughing. Their eyes are all. And so I'm taking my jug and like throwing water in the face of like all of these members of the press. And one of them was like, thank you so much. Here's some like hot, like really good masks because pepper spray is really bad. So I put one on, my friend put one on. But this is the other thing. There are all these unhoused people that live around here. So I'm running around giving the rest of the mask
like,
to the
what
unhoused
in the
people.
fuck is going on?
Exactly. They just wake up and because this stuff is so nasty, right? Like it's really nasty stuff. So I'm giving masks to the unhoused people. There are videos of where I wasn't, where
They
the
probably
police
think
were
people are coming in to help.
Nope. In fact, there's videos of the LAPD brutalizing unhoused people as part of these protests. Fuck the LAPD. Fuck the California Highway Patrol. Fuck ICE the most. Fuck ICE. Fuck ICE. But I've started a rapid response team. I took a training yesterday or 2 days ago and started a rapid response team in my neighborhood. So we're going to the Home Depot. We're going to the Home Depot this week.
That is what is going to save us.
That's right.
Community, like local
because
community.
It's not the cops. It's not the politicians. They don't give a fuck.
No,
excuse my language.
No. So, and that is truly, I mean, that's what I've seen though in the Karen Reed movement. That's what I think is different. It's not like a political, it goes beyond political lines, but I think maybe that's where things get stuck. I don't know. That's a larger conversation, but it's like the people agree and then
I agree with you.
Then some deal is made behind the scenes on everything or something.
You know what a perfect example of that is right now, even beyond the ICE raid stuff, is fucking Iran.
Yes.
It's telling me that I don't have, is this?
I mean, nobody
put it
wants
on my
this.
iPhone. Maybe.
Nobody. Well, no, I don't know. I'm going to close out. Hold on. Let me.
Ooh. Okay. So here's my thinking about Iran. Which, like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, what fresh hell tomorrow will I wake up to? Do you know what I mean?
It is all because of his birthday party.
Well, oh, that's interesting. I think that doesn't not play into it, but I also think, which by the way, how glorious was that like literally no one showed up for his birthday? The squeaking.
It's the most patriotic I've ever felt in my life.
Totally, dude.
I was like, oh, I really feel so American.
Will say the way that the community is responding to the ICE raids, not just in Los Angeles, in Boston, in all these other places. That shows me, plus nobody going to his stupid ass birthday. We are being.
It was so lame. It was so logistically a nightmare and like miserable. Like the
and it cost
Fry
so
Fest.
Much money. Dude, the Fire Fest.
Money.
Dude, our fucking money.
Do you know he's gained most of his wealth in the presidency? I mean, it's not surprising.
Okay.
But
Jimmy Carter sold his peanut farm before taking office. Jimmy Carter.
But he was the worst president ever, Amy.
Can you believe that? Like how morally. Anyway, I just.
My mom's husband says that.
Oh yeah,
guess who's the best?
Who? Wait, don't tell me. Ronald Reagan.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course.
Honestly, everything went to shit when the country chose Ronald Reagan over Jimmy Carter.
It really did. I
like
just
think of the moral torque.
Studied this.
Yes,
it really was.
Yes.
So like no more manufacturing. We're gonna sell this out like short-term thinking. I mean, not like a couple years.
He busted strikes. He like started undermining people power, right?
Undermining workers.
Yes. And
the
since
community,
it's just gotten worse ever since. But
and he kept the wealthy people so that they could just keep it in power. And then now that truth is dead, or as my dad would say on one of the things he taught me on Father's Day is, what is truth?
Yeah.
Who knows the truth? Well, Dad, those who see it, because there is a truth, despite like the undermining of that. There is actual facts, more to that, but Iran.
Okay, so Iran. This is what I'm thinking.
Iran. Is it? Can you say it both, or have I been saying it wrong my entire life?
Iran is wrong, and we were kind
of. It was so kind. Is it? I think Iran is wrong, but you're not. It's just that is, but you're not.
You're not. Exactly. You're not. You're never wrong ever in my book.
Continue.
No, it's Iran.
This was my unrecognized ADHD and childhood learning, fundamental things.
No, I called it Iran until like 5 years ago.
Probably fucking taught myself by saying like, it's like Iran.
Exactly.
Iran.
That's how we were taught. Literally, like we were taught it was Iran. So it's not you.
So this is probably a great time to say Amy and I are both from the South and born in Christian
Yep.
conservative families.
I was taught at school that the Confederate flag was just part of our history. I'm fucked up.
But don't ask any questions about our history now.
Right. Never ask any
That's
questions
it.
about it.
Yeah. That isn't that right, though? It is. We were taught, and back to Ronald fucking Reagan.
Oh, I fucking hate that.
That was like, it is obey. It is
Yeah.
not question ever.
Well,
it is
'cause,
just
like, authority is somehow like they taught us, they brainwashed us to be bootlickers.
yes, and to just like, well, I want this career and this
Right. And, like,
this perfect
school-
life. And
I need to do research on this, but I saw something the other day that said that the guy who first this is sounding a little specious to me. I need to look this up. But like the guy that designed American schools, public schools, did it in such a way to really
right.
drive home like you need to respect authority and follow the rules, and you'll only succeed if you succeed within the confines of these rules and that we're setting for. So essentially they like taught us to be like bootlickers, like welcoming an authoritarianism, which makes sense to me right now, right?
Yeah.
But the
And
way
can you imagine?
tread on me people are like, tread on me, tread all over me.
It is okay. They are, God, I wish some of my favorite words have been just overtaken, gaslit being one, but like, I feel like, no, this is more projection. They're more projectionist of like, we're going to get called out on this. So let's go ahead and just claim it and own it. Like, small government,
Where's it? Like,
limited government. Like, we don't want, I don't know. That's not, don't tread on me. It's a better example because
No.
it is.
The small government. I saw somebody tweet, is the small government in the room with us right now?
They are fucking jokes.
Because like, but I think it's like the frogs when you turn up the heat in the boiling pot slowly, then they
Yes,
don't realize that
yes.
it's boiled. Because you're exactly right. They have like given over their principles of small government and all these things. What that really means is they want everyone to have to do what they think is right.
Everyone else.
That's right. And that's called authoritarianism.
I always think on the dying frogs, like I've got to get over like any satisfaction of like I've been kind of fundamentally right about the big things in my whole life or something, like that. Just cocky attitude. Because I know like at the end of the world, or like that time when climate change is just destroying us all by whatever hell it is.
Yeah.
Right. And we're like either underwater or on fire. Pick your poison. And I'm finally going to be like, or, my ancestors, my blood will be like, do y'all finally believe? And they're going to be like, yes, we believe.
Or they're going to be
Jesus
like,
Christ, in Jesus Christ.
Exactly.
It's coming. We did it.
holy shit, you're totally right.
And I will go up in flames or drown in water being so like,
Pissed.
this is all pointless.
Yeah.
Trying to convince
Yeah, that's right.
people that will never be convinced
That's right.
because it is too vulnerable and
Right.
like emotionally unstable for them to
Right. Because if you
change
admit
their beliefs
That's
or
right.
question them.
that your
or-
tether to the world is broken. And a lot of
Yes.
people can't handle that.
It's destabilizing.
Okay,
Like,
are we talking about red pill? Getting red pilled, except for in the way of truth?
what?
Have you heard of that? Like red pilled? It's like with like alpha.
Only from
Matrix?
the idiot that ruined Twitter.
Yes, yeah, right. So that's like from they're talking about like when you like look, you like get a good look at the world and you can't go back. Like once you see the truth of the world, you can't go back is essentially what that means.
I know there's a better, like Nietzsche has like, or Carl Jung have like better, like, I feel like you're using like the right language. I don't know. That's how I feel.
Yeah,
not them.
right. The truth is everybody thinks that they're red pilled, right? Everybody thinks like I know what's going on. I really know the truth. But
Well, I hate that too. Like
Yeah.
everything I think someone else does too.
well, the problem is I think the difference is you and I and the people who are like us
Well, I know the difference.
will actually be open to oh, shit, maybe something that I thought was wrong.
Change your opinion. They
Yeah,
will actually
honestly, that-
dig into the
That's pretty
facts
important.
pretty That is the difference. That's exactly what I was gonna say. That is exactly what I've been thinking about in this Karen Reed
Yes,
and
tell us about your
politics and bucking, the political peeps gaslighting you about your reality.
Yes.
And the difference is I now why I know I'm different is I trust myself that I will and have in the past and will continue to objectively look at things and question my bias and actually enjoy that and almost enjoy nothing more than the intellectual orgasm of, thinking one way and then changing and having that ability because I think that's very healthy
It
and
is.
being able to or confirm exactly what you thought. I don't know. Like the Karen Reed, I mean, the thing that it's so absurd to me, but it's taught me so much is I came into it thinking, assuming she was guilty because of the headlines I saw, it made sense. Girlfriend hits boyfriend with car.
Right.
And the added fact that turned out to be false, that there was Ring video. And that is all you need is a likely suspect.
Yeah.
For anyone to kind of already just assume that and then not be able to walk away. But okay.
Well, but also talk about I mean, you kind of mentioned it, but the power of the media, that the media has so
much.
if they frame something as oh, this is the likely suspect or whatever, we just kind of let it wash over us. And we believe oh, they do the research, they're a
Right.
legitimate media source, but
they hold the same
they have
institutional
so many
authority
of interest. It's rampant with news media, big outlets.
Yeah.
They're
And I
right.
truly believe that now. I used to think
can't believe that I'm
okay, that's a
saying
conspiracy.
mainstream media, like the Trumpers used to say mainstream media.
Yes, yes.
But I'm totally there.
I am, but for different reasons. I think we may be coming to a point, maybe if we can keep on track,
Yeah.
where we might be on different paths, but we're going to the same destination as the people. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out why there's so many conservative and liberal, on both sides of the Karen Reed thing. And remember how I talked about that? Well, or how I'm following and love and have so much respect for Aiden
Little boy?
Carney. Yes. And yes, we talked about that and his statue. Okay.
But he's
so,
also he's also a MAGA guy, right?
No, I would not say he's a MAGA guy. I don't think he would say that. He was a Ron DeSantis guy, which
arguably just as bad.
Yes and no. And it's insane. I've thought through this all because I have to try to just. But he's the guy that got me to start thinking and knowing that I can question myself. I can look at things and change my mind.
Only more people.
Yeah. And there's another Father's Day gift I have to tell you about. But so he and all the conservatives that think she is innocent and somebody else, there's a Twitter conversation. Okay. So a Twitter handle MAGA Barbie said this was no. Someone else said it and tagged MAGA Barbie. I guess a liberal and then another kind of independent media person who is popular, who is getting more popular in this space. I think independent journalism is it's the next thing.
It's because we can't trust anything that these fucking bot and fake or people are saying.
And that's agreed on both sides.
Yes.
And that is why Karen Reed has become so popular because one, the LawTube environment and community already existed well before this.
Yeah.
So there was multiple content creators talking about law cases and exposing that to people like me. I've been following this for years.
Right.
And then they see this corruption that the mainstream media still to this day, Matt fucking Guthrie on ABC News sat down with the actual killers, the killers, and the aftermath. This is the gift that does not stop giving. But they're the ones that pointed it out to everybody and really exposed it, while the mainstream media just like fed
Wait, what did they expose?
that corruption or that she was innocent, just really stood
got-
behind that and didn't try to just like toe the line like everybody else
Right.
did. And you saw that
Turtle
on
boy.
TV, where it was like, I used to watch Court TV, Vinnie Politan, love,
Mm.
but he towed the line forever. And then there was somebody, another newscaster on there or whatever, that also used to be a prosecutor, that was fully like, she is guilty. She
That's
is
why
guilty.
prosecutors, lifelong prosecutors are dicks. Sorry.
Well, I don't know. It's just, I guess it's hard to explain. Like, since I have known she was factually innocent, I don't care what anyone fucking says. Like, from my perspective, I have known she was factually innocent since I looked into it for 2 seconds. For 2 seconds. I was like, she's guilty. Then the trial was on, and I was like, why do people care about this? I'm going to just start watching it. And I was like, this stinks.
Yeah.
And kept being proven right. Anyways, so when I see these people on mainstream law
Yeah.
TV saying she is absolutely guilty and like, so
Like, what's
ignoring all these facts, I'm just like, we are looking
the
at like
same
a
things?
bought person.
Yeah, no, for sure. Or at
And
least
there's
like in bot, people might think like, oh, come on, not everybody is getting. It's more like it's in your interest to
yeah,
perpetuate
it's going to further
specific
whatever.
narrative. Whether
Uh-huh.
it's true or not, you don't. It's like, and even I honestly believe too that sometimes it's like subconscious, because sometimes these people have like implicit biases that they don't even sort of.
There's definitely gendered roles, gendered
sure.
bias in this.
It's racist shit, you know, like.
And I started
Not
thinking about
necessarily
that.
she was white, but I mean, in terms of just like generally speaking, in the criminal legal
Absolutely.
system of the United States, like it's extraordinarily racist.
I don't think this, I thought about what you said last time. I don't think this would have gotten picked in the same exact situation. I do not think this would have gotten picked up if she were black. And I would love for anyone to like have an argument against that. And I want to change my mind, like I do. But, again, I'm challenging my own. It's not about what I want to believe.
It's about what is actually true.
True.
Okay, so as a quick little question, should we pitch to Karen Reed that she start an organization?
I'm already saying no, because give her time. But
you're right.
continue.
Eventually, she has a team, an organization, a nonprofit that looks for cases like hers to shine a light on and
Copyright.
And we can say focus on women of color, because they don't typically have I mean, she probably would love that. It's a good idea.
Absolutely. And she could be, and this is not just like me saying this because I don't really have a leg to stand on, but like she has the ability to be a skilled attorney. She has this strategy. This is from her attorneys. Like, she was so involved with every step of her case. She went to every sidebar. Like, and the thing that is so loved about this is the dribbles and drabbles that are continuing to come out. So it's not like over. Like, the good news keeps giving. But what I do want your opinion on is now, okay, so she got obviously not guilty of all of the charges, only guilty on the OUI. So driving under the influence. Yeah. Which, okay, if she has 1 year probation and has to do this program, I'm wondering if that charge gets dismissed at the end of the year.
But it probably won't. I think she'll probably have a DUI for the rest of her life.
Okay. All right. So now the question, the civil case. So there's a civil case
against her for wrongful death
from the
parents. No, wife.
Specifically on is her John's niece.
Right, because he was raising them as kids, right?
And I think either the brother or the mom.
Okay.
So I can't remember, but and since the family.
He might be found liable of that.
Because 51% or whatever.
It's just a preponderance of evidence, which is just 50, and it's not even 51, 50 plus anything. Even a
That is so scary and such an incentive to be a civil attorney.
Plaintiffs' attorneys make bank because you make typically a third of whatever you win is what you get as an attorney.
Okay. Oh my God. That is all right. So again, and I'm asking all these questions and commenting from the perspective, like I can't even talk to you like you agree with me. Like, because I'm not sure because you haven't followed it as much, but I do have someone that can explain everything. Hold on.
Send me a link and I'll watch it. And next time I'll be all caught up.
Well, even better. But okay, so this means that people all over get money for something that didn't happen. Like that is very common.
Well, what it is that because I guess at the end of the day, the legal system in the United States assumes that we're never going to know the truth, and the truth isn't the point, right? It's just yeah, no, that's right. That's literally it's horrible, and it's in stark contrast to the legal system in continental Europe, which is much more about let's find what the truth is, and then we'll figure out what we should do. And the United States,
that makes so much sense. So let's not do that.
The United States got a lot of our like almost all of it. I mean, the common law system from the UK. And so it's more about how well can you argue, and like it's very different because nobody cares about the truth, and that's just the truth.
Are you just talking about civil?
I'm talking about everything, criminal, civil. Like there isn't ever like when you get to the end of the case, you aren't like, oh wow, I know.
That's why it's the injustice system.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. So she now has then two choices.
Yeah.
From my eyes.
Probably could settle.
Or, which is obvious. Like, and it probably would not be too much sweat off her back. I mean, she has insurance.
Right.
They're only asking $50,000.
Yeah.
Which,
I mean, that's really pretty low.
Why?
Yeah, that's actually incredibly low.
Is that almost
a strategy to get her to
display? Like I feel like we're just like a message.
Maybe it's more like, because I did see, oh my God, this is like a heavy thing. But back in like early 2000s, woman was in Palestine, was in Gaza, American woman, Rachel Corrie. She was protesting and she got crushed by an Israeli tank. No, an Israeli bulldozer. Crushed to death by an Israeli bulldozer while she was protesting against their destruction of Palestinian lands. And her parents sued the IDF, whatever, for wrongful death, and they only asked in damages $1.
Yeah.
Well, so I said all that.
Paltrow.
I could see that could be, even though typically you would do it like what, like I think. Like $1.
That's almost like a dumb message.
$1 is like, we only want to know. 50,000 is like not nothing.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
He did the $1 thing too.
Yes, in classic.
Fucking bitch.
Not to undermine the previous story.
That petty bitch.
No, see.
Think of the spectrum that we just talked about. Okay.
I know that I was like, well, I mean, I was like, if you want a more recent example that people would know, but same. You went for the heartfelt, and I love that. I love that. Rachel Corrie. I wrote it down. I was like, I'm gonna look into it later.
Honestly, look her up. She was like a badass bitch.
Well, that reminds me of the guy stuck backpacking in not Iran, but Iran. Good job. I'm gonna have to do that for a little bit until it's in my mind.
It's part of
live on air.
We're unlearning together.
Unlearning and healing.
Da-da-da-da.
Okay, in honor of Father's Day, this is what I'll show you from.
Okay, let me see.
To explain, this is what in like 1 minute. This is going to explain the feelings.
Love this.
Or. Does he tell the whole story? Nah.
This is a video of your dad?
Yeah.
So no? No.
Are you elated? Grateful.
That's Karen Reed. I can see her dad. I can see it on his face.
Elated, grateful to God for this ending. It's been a long 3.5 years. Long time coming. But while we've seen the worst in humanity over the last 3.5 years with the corruption, we've also seen the best in mankind, particularly the women. so many women out there, standouts at the courthouse over this week, in the hundreds. I know state police estimated there were about 3,000 people there today. And so many women identify with Karen because at some point in their lives, you know, they have been objectified and dehumanized or victimized in some way or another. And you know, with Karen, they see that strength and that courage to fight against the government that has, you know, unlimited resources. And so it's been a great win for us. We've got, you know, Karen's incredible fight, fortitude, strength, and willingness to persevere and not give in.
He understands.
Damn.
Dehumanize, victimize.
Daddy.
Karen,
Daddy.
they see that.
Yeah, Rage Against the Machine.
It's
Fidgeting
been
bars.
and willingness to
Ooh, I love how he
persevere.
says strength.
And,
This is right
and,
after, I
you know,
believe.
she wanted-
Yes, she did.
Yeah, these people are good.
attorneys.
I love them. Have you
Also,
ever heard-
Is Zaddy just like speaking off the cuff?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Like-
I think that's the same suit he was wearing to,
It's pretty impressive.
yeah. And this is a 16-minute interview.
Holy
that was
shit.
1 minute. And he says everything like there is to say. It's so beautiful.
That's amazing. Zaddy.
And then what
She
I
looks
think is
just like him.
you think?
I think just put a fucking wig on him and there she is.
Let's see.
Yes, look at that face. Put a wig on that. It's Karen Reed.
And then
I'm dying. I'm
Reed
dying.
Karen.
I'm dying. I'm dead.
I don't know.
Bring it closer. Oh my god, are you kidding? They look like twins. Just put a wig on him.
Auntie Deb will do it. And if you know, you know. I mean, the amount of content in this, like all of these, well, I can't show you.
Wait, what was he about
everything.
to say about David? What did he say about him?
And Liza Little
Liza.
from.
I thought that he was
We're
talking about
just
the guy that
blessed
died.
to have
About
him
who?
The
fighting
guy that
for
died. I thought he was about to be like, the guy that died was we loved him and we cared about him, but she didn't kill him. But then I remembered that he was talking about her team.
What is true? Like, I think well, I don't know. I was going to say both sides would agree on is like he was lost in this, John O'Keefe. But
John O'Keefe.
that's not her fault.
She has to do anything that she can to stay out of prison. That's insane.
Yeah. And then, so she said on the court steps, which, like, I happy cried. I happy cried all day. Like, that I chose a job now that I can keep my mind and was watching the entire time while working and like being there in the moment. Well, I did wish I was there actually.
Doing what you wanted to do while also making money.
Yes. And exercise, like, you know,
Right.
birds.
Using your body.
But she said, I just want to say two things. And like in her fashion, like she's bold. And I think people should start being bold and not just towing the line. She was like, no, well, first she thanked her supporters and like I could not have done this
Right.
without everyone, which is true because of the expense of everything, which was
Sure.
by design.
Right.
And
Right.
it was absolutely by design to dry her dry. And the people said,
We're not going to stay up for it.
no. Yeah, so they raised, I think, like over $1 million.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and so she said after that, no one else has fought harder.
Then Turtle Boy?
No, than herself to like get justice for
Right.
John O'Keefe. And
She's like, I did
that
not
is,
do this.
well, that is factually true, but it's hard to fucking hear, right? Because why is it actually true? Well, the police didn't fight harder to get justice because
They've been
did
chasing.
not do anything. They actively, they either, you know, ignorantly
Right.
or maliciously did not investigate. Then the prosecutors certainly didn't try to get justice by lying, all of that. His family certainly didn't by accusing the wrong person and wasting time with that. So actually, and then she said, me and my team. So I'm thinking like, I love her because she's such like a that is actually factually true.
It's
And
what's
by
I
her
bet his
getting
family still thinks she did it, though.
because they have to.
Yeah, because otherwise it's like some big cover-up by yeah.
Yeah, it's like this is what I've been thinking so hard about. Like, why can't these people
Like,
see the
because they're
truth?
hearing the same evidence and seeing, like, the same maybe it's
They
just I guess psychologically, it's just
that's
difficult. They're in a more difficult position in terms of their
they
relationship with the truth.
well, I think it's two factors for them. Like, one, they came to the conclusion first and then like made it work however it needed to work. Like it doesn't matter what actually happened. Like to them, their belief is that Karen did it.
Yeah. It's
I
like
think
the easier thing to believe.
yes, and then she's easier to ostracize because she's just a one woman backed now by no man or no family in the area, no real like close friends in the area. I mean, she kind of like lived in the outskirts
Yeah.
as opposed to this family of like cops that is connected to everyone. Just in those sense, who would you want to
Yeah.
sit beside?
Yeah, right. Well, and also his family, I bet his mom didn't like her, you know what I mean, already
She
before he did this.
she didn't.
Yeah.
She didn't.
So it's
So
easier
that
for her to be like, "Oh, I knew there was a reason I didn't like her, you know, or blah, blah, blah." Like, there's like an easier through line for her.
yeah. And don't you know she's the type of woman that comes from the generation of like, well, hell yeah, I'd rather it be the crazy girlfriend than the upstanding gentleman, policeman, family men. But she also, what's complicated about these situations is, and this is just like my personal opinion, I think she was the downright cold bitch mom.
Really.
Yeah, Peggy. Because like just before this,
Yeah.
and it's not just my opinion, a little bit back by the facts. Like she did fight for custody from John O'Keefe, who passed
So
away.
before any of this happened.
Yeah, she fought for the niece and nephew custody.
Saying
Because
what?
his sister. So did you know his sister died?
Yes, and that's why he had them.
Yes, and then shortly after, a month after, the husband died. So the mom
Right.
and the dad.
So
Which was revealed at the trial that by the prosecutor that he overdosed on her grave, which was not known to the public at all.
dad?
Yeah. Of the two children, of the niece and nephew.
Why would they do that?
Some of the things he did,
Like there's no reason to unearth that for unless I want you to tell me. Do you think there's
it is a known on goal, a really open wound for the family, something that no one on the Free Karen Reed movement knew and should know, and like
it
was
is irrelevant. It's completely irrelevant.
and I don't know why. Like that was one of the most shocking things to me because I would like all of his, the family he's supposed to be like defending, the O'Keefes are like, are you fucking
Well,
kidding
but
me? We kept that under wraps forever.
Like why? Like what advantage?
To him, there's no advantage. That's what I'm saying is there was multiple times. One example, he's crossing a defense expert.
Okay.
And he asked her why she thinks Karen would have made these like responses or grief, like I hit him, or, all of the crazy remarks. And something she was like, I do. Would you like me to explain? And he said, yes. And she goes, well, there's something called like grief response. And she names all the psychology behind it, but it exactly explains why she would be making these statements. And he just has to sit there and is like, and there were, yes, and the defense didn't have the foundation to bring that in, could have never gotten that in, ever. It was not part of anything.
Because
No one knew about that.
I was about to be like, well, why didn't they do this on direct? Like if this was a
They
defense
couldn't.
expert, they should have on direct examination gotten all these facts in. Why were they out? Like why was there no foundation?
Because the judge was just another prosecutor. More so, I mean, I've never seen, it's disgusting. I feel like I'm just complaining, but if you watched a couple, she favored everything.
Say this to the audience, all of our big, huge audience. Whenever you have to vote for a judge,
Oh,
you live in a place
great.
you have to vote for a judge, always vote for the public defender candidate.
Guess what?
Unless
She was a public
no,
defender.
fuck this bitch. This is what I would say.
But she was appointed. She wasn't elected.
If it's between a prosecutor and a public defender, you always want to pick the public defender. If it's between a prosecutor and anyone else, you usually want to pick anyone else, because prosecutors are going to come into these judges' spaces with their own, like, I mean, at this point, they don't give a shit about their bias, right? Their entire career, all they've seen are crooks. And
Yeah.
so when you come in front of them in court, especially when a black person comes in front of them in court, you know what they're going to see? A criminal. So aside, a public service announcement, never, ever, fucking ever vote for a prosecutor to become a judge.
And also the importance of electing your DAs. But unfortunately,
100%. They're not all monsters.
so
Absolutely.
Michael Morsi might be actually out. He's going to be out. He won't make a statement. All he has said is the jury has spoken. God, I have so much catching. I'm trying to make it like high level because I feel like I'm seeing it
he's like
differently.
He's like a real.
He is, yeah. Like if you want to name the top person at the problem that had nothing to do with the murder. So there's the murder, which very well was probably an accident, and then the real issue, the cover up. So he is at the top of like the cover up now because he has chosen to defend this lie at all costs. I mean, he released that statement.
Down.
They have doubled, tripled, quadrupled down. I've never seen it before. These people, after she was found not guilty, went on a press tour that night. And Amy,
What did they say?
They did not address or work with a PR firm. It made them,
I can't believe that.
not biasly, I took you've got to watch it. They
bad.
look now 10 times more guilty.
Why
After an interview with Matt Guthrie on ABC,
Why would they do that?
body language experts have already, because this is the end for them. I think they think this is closer to the end than even we think. This is really what I think. Like, we're so down in the system of like, we have no faith.
Right.
I think this is a collective of seeing, like Dr. William Reed said, we've seen the system of corruption for 3.5 years, and like nobody in the system is helping the truth. So why do we think that anybody's going to come roaring in and actually arrest them? And there's really just no way, because they didn't investigate it enough. And then Karen will always be like a third party culprit, right?
Right.
So in like our eyes, we're just like, they got off scot-free. The only thing they didn't get off on is social ostracization, which is happening. And I think that they think the walls are closing in. Otherwise, why would you do a disastrous interview?
Why would you do that?
And
So this was the prosecutor and who?
No. This is the family. This is the actual, I don't know what else to call them, but the actual killers.
Wait, you're talking about the people who lived in that house.
Yes.
They are whoa, that is like blowing my mind even more, because I thought you were just talking about like the DA. You're talking about the
No, DA is hiding. DA is done. He was the special prosecutor because nobody else in the state would touch it.
Yeah, well, so it's not the same guy that did the first trial.
He sat there like a little stupid wet duck playing with paper clips, literally being paid by the taxpayers while they paid a special prosecutor, Hank Brennan, who is a defense attorney and did the case, tried it like a defense attorney, in which, like, he lost.
Yeah.
So in that case, his client's guilty.
Right, kind of, I guess. So
And they were like, hey, we're out here.
You're telling me
Amy,
that the family who lived in the house,
all right,
in front of which his lifeless body was found,
that night,
independently
yeah.
out and did a press conference. That's crazy. That is insane. Unless you are, I'm with you now. I'm following you now. That's insane.
Okay. And so even on the face, so you haven't even seen it, and you
No,
know that
if you're
that's just like,
no, yeah, why would you do that unless
why would you need to defend yourself? Like, why would? Oh, first, no. First, they
maybe
put out
it's
a
because they're thinking
statement.
people are assuming that we're guilty. We need to, because that's the not guilty verdict. So now people are going to be like, it was
It's a
us.
lose-lose. It's a lose-lose. If you're in PR, right? I mean, you got to know that. It's a lose-lose. If people already think you're guilty, then
Yes.
I don't know. Or like, why gamble?
Well, especially if they didn't have any sort of like slam dunk thing they could say, right? If it's still going to be ambiguous.
Exactly. No new evidence. No
Right.
nothing.
If they were like, okay, this is the real truth that we weren't allowed to bring this evidence in or da-da-da-da-da, this goes to show that we are obviously not guilty.
This is great. Even
Are you on a
there's
ball?
what?
Are you sitting on a ball?
No. Just a chair. Okay. All right. So hold on. Yes. Here we go.
Let's show it to
I'm
me.
going to show you. They released a statement first, like right after. I was like, I don't think the family thought through this. Okay. Like, they can't have.
Today our hearts.
All right. Today, our hearts, are with John and the entire O'Keefe family. They have suffered through so much and deserve better from our justice system. While we may have more to say in the future, okay, today we mourn with John's family and lament the cruel reality that this prosecution was infected by lies and conspiracy theories. Oh,
Florida, should we go?
trash can. No way. Spread by Karen Reed, her defense team, and some in the media. The result is devastating miscarriage of justice.
So they really do believe it's still they did it though, is what
It's
you're
the quadrupling down. Like, the alternative is admitting what happened.
maybe
I
they
mean,
felt like they couldn't not make a statement.
not all PR is good PR.
Oh, but you're telling me they did that interview with
Yeah.
the ABC guy.
Okay. Here. Okay. Just look at this. This little fatty got.
Wait, pause it. This looks AI-ified, doesn't
It's
it?
not.
But I mean, the interviewer
The
does not,
production, it looks like too powdered. Like his.
like they're in the uncanny valley to me, and they're actual humans. So anyway, sorry, that was
Yeah. And yeah, this is the cop. The other guy's the interviewer.
The interviewer looks crazier. So next time you see him, like just see if you can see
Matt
him.
Guthrie?
This is
Yeah.
not just
Yeah.
people. The sun got an overwhelming amount of support.
Majority, bro.
They're just not out.
You haven't.
Also, you should never
is
invoke
it.
silent majority as a
Why
white
did you,
No.
did you plant evidence?
because silent majority has a very like bad past and connotation of racism.
It even sounds bad. Like, just
Yeah,
calling yourself.
Guy, that's not the flex you think it is.
Normally you say,
Most
we're the
people-
minority. We're getting stomped on.
Yeah,
David
right.
Goliath. We're not like, we're Goliath. Vote for us.
Vote for us.
Okay. When you see, you've got to watch the McAlberts. So that's what we call them, because it's the McCabe's and the Alberts. So they're
Love it. Perfect.
McAlberts.
Perfect.
And it is, all right, so the body language guy, I don't know if you know, he has like 1 million followers on YouTube. I didn't even know. Anyways, he's already caught up on it. I love him. He's like done his own research, caught up on the case, and then looked at them and was like, oh my God, like called it what it is. Like, so Mike Guthrie like sat down with the killers. It's so great. And Matt knows it too. Again, from my
I need to see this because I will say that sounds like a junk science to me.
All right, back. Got it. This is the I guess I feel bad I've never seen him before, but he's this Enrique Rosas show.
The
This
police
is
were.
one. That's the wrong question. Like, one, he said 6 a.m. or 6:27 a.m. That's not the debate.
Right.
How can you have an interview on ABC without the facts? It's 2:27 a.m. before John died, or 6 a.m. Matthew
Right.
Guthrie.
Right. Who cares about the one that's 7 minutes apart?
And that's not even right. He didn't even have that right. Like, come on.
He's kind of cute though.
He is, but he's playing both sides.
Why?
That main
Did John ever come in the house?
Right.
Okay. He's very much on,
Karen Reed side?
yeah. And he's just like, look at that fat fuck. Sorry. They all, And I only
Key players
say
in the
that
Karen Reed
they-
trial.
Their
Exclusive
accents
interview
are
from Jennifer
grating.
McCabe
okay.
and her
Jennifer
husband Max,
McCabe
former Boston
orchestrated
police
it.
sergeant
You think
Brian
they
Albert,
orchestrated
and his wife
It's
Jennifer McCabe?
the sergeant that is wearing a wig. That's Sergeant Gallagher.
She's wearing a wig?
Yeah.
Damn, I want a wig.
If you know, you know. But this is
No.
Brian Albert.
Do you know?
It's not, but they look alike. And
Oh, I
And
thought
there's-
you said, I get it now. I'm sorry. I see it now. Yes. Because they're brothers.
so the internet will say,
They're siblings, right?
you've never seen them in the same room. It's this bald detective and her.
Oh my God.
Like, you got the best, funniest people. This is
Honestly, the internet is so funny. I will
it's
say
so
Reddit is mean. But anyway.
deeper.
Nicole
you know.
and his
All right.
brother.
They just pop him in at the window so he doesn't bring his wife. Suspect. Why? Chris, brother. This is all too much.
These two are brother and sister that we're seeing on the screen right now, right?
Husband and wife.
Oh.
That you thought that. Look at her. Okay.
They
So
look alike.
she goes on to say he's a former Boston cop.
Okay. He looks like a Boston cop.
He does, and he was on Boston's Finest.
Ew.
He was known for being a bully and just like beating up people. Like, talk about likely suspect. There's also more than one a lot of times.
His friend Jennifer McCabe.
All right.
I would have
Oh, and that's her
described him as a
husband, Matt. That's Jennifer's husband, the big guy.
This is the house.
I'm so
This-
glad I don't live in somewhere so cold and snowy all the time.
Okay. I'll just narrate it because I don't want to take I want the one part where he was like, why didn't you go out on the lawn? And he was like, because, Matt, I'm a Canton cop. Wait. Fucked it up. I'm a Boston cop. Not a Canton cop, but I live in Canton, but I
So
respect
what does it have to do with being a
restrictions.
cop?
He
Which
just
girl
is so,
outside?
they're all looking at him like for cues. I guess if like my mom watched this, she might buy it actually.
Well, I'm, as we've been watching these videos and talking about the issues, it's like I'm having this thought again and again about how brainwashed Americans are to, like, the baseline is respecting authority, respecting police, assuming they're telling
Not
the truth.
questioning.
Yes. And I think that can't be understated. And I think that that's a part of what makes our criminal legal system inherently unfair. Because evidence by the state, evidence by the police, I think automatically gets more weight by people because we're taught to be fucking bootleggers,
Yeah, and to be honest, I don't think I mind being a part of a society that respects or holds certain offices, certain institutions to a higher regard than others, but I also don't think we can do it. I don't think we can do it. I don't think these people today can be trusted with power. Sorry, we tried it. It failed.
absolute power. Wait, what is it? Absolute power corrupts. I don't know. Jenny Holzer. I'll look it up later and tell you. But essentially, yes. If you're gonna give
Probably
it like
exactly what
it's-
we're saying.
I think it is. I think it is. But like as you were saying, my thing is this. At this point in my life, I'm a little on the chaos side of the spectrum more and more every day. And I'm like, you know
Me
what? No,
too.
fuck it. I don't hold any of those motherfuckers in any kind of regard. First of all, because I hate the cops with a burning deep hellfire. And like I've realized going through my legal career, my legal education, all these things, that the law is essentially like white supremacist, misogynistic bullshit,
yeah.
phobic bullshit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I have gone from like
It's like rejecting all. I don't want any of it.
exactly because like
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything.
Fuck, it's not built for me, bitch.
What exactly? So like, fuck the cops, fuck all this stuff about nice, polite parades, protests. Like, let's like actually take
Let's fuck.
power back.
Let's fuck.
Yeah.
I agree. And also I've seen that, like, I know that we are more moral despite what they say, like more ethical, like this side of things. Like, I mean, see, do you have people like locking people up and storming in the way, or do you have people fighting for humanity and, due process? Like, okay, I mean, I guess there's both sides, what is truth, but I
how
know
can
that
you, like,
I'm
throw due process out of the window because you're a virulent racist and that's all that you actually
we only like the amendments we like.
like, that's such and honestly, Adrian, like, there's ICE agents that cover a lot of them cover their faces, but there are ones that don't, and those to me are the ones that are the absolute worst because they don't feel any shame about what it is that they're doing. Do you know what I mean? They're like, "Look at me. I'm proud to be here."
They're proud. I've wondered who is like, I want to see a study of
Worst of the worst.
the makeup of those. Like, has that increased? Is that like all the job numbers? Is Trump like writing on job numbers because he's put them all in the ice?
I literally think that it's, like, not funny, but, like, it's funny in the absurdity of, like, how and like, how predictable it is, but, like
Yes. Everything is now fucking
it's so
ridiculously
But
predictable.
I feel like ICE is probably I mean, like a ridiculous majority white male between the ages of 22 and 45.
Is that like the military?
Yes, and probably with a military background.
I bet. I wonder. I don't know. I can't even pretend to know much about the military, except that it just seems very overbloated and just
Yeah.
like a big fuck toy of like whose dick is bigger and like making sure ours is like inflated.
I just see a big penis pump, like,
Yeah, a couple things I want to know affirmatively if those troops were protesting with that march.
I like that. I like to
I need to know that in my lifetime. There's like
Yeah.
things like I have patience for, but I want to know affirmatively. I put like Epstein's death on that list, you know, like, and I don't want, you know, stupid speculation. I will wait it out until
Yeah,
it's
no,
like
I'm
confirmed.
with you. I wanna know it too.
Well, for the people that still believe in truth at the end of this, like, and
'Cause they
facts
just
and
look
stuff.
sloppy as fuck. You didn't have to know about the military to watch that and be like, "Damn, like, they look sloppy as hell."
Yeah. Well, and I mean, call me tricked by video, but people clip together some of our military marching and it's just different.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Some of the, so I've found like in this age when you can so readily like share things with people that are saying something against, you know, saying your reality is not true, you can be like, well, here, like, look, they're not marching the same. So now the new tactic is like, no, I don't want to see it. You're being divisive. You're
They
being,
don't even wanna look at it
yeah,
because then they'll have to deal with it.
deal with it. You don't see this problem?
Well,
Okay.
I haven't really engaged, if I'm honest, with a lot of people that are on that, like that are that extremity. Like everybody that I engage with is at least like, this is crazy. This is costing so much money. What the fuck is he doing? Because I've gotten to the point of being on the left.
Even that felt, what did they feel before?
I think I will say my family's included in that category. So my family that's voted Republican and for Trump, like because
They
my
moved
family
their
isn't
needle?
MAGA. They're not MAGA people. They're Republican people. But like, see,
Hot take. They're worse.
yeah, maybe.
And I call
Let's
my
get
own
positive.
family, like,
Positive.
I think
Yeah.
Republicans that let this happen
No, I mean, I'm not.
are more at fault. Ooh, hot take. Though, and this is something also,
Let me hear it.
did Kamala actually win the election? Like this is not a conspiracy theory. I mean, I guess my point is, I actually kind of can buy into like she did, and I don't want to start shit. I don't care, but I think he did fucking cheat.
Probably. He's been a cheater his entire fucking life.
Yeah,
So he
right. Like it almost makes
very-
more sense.
Yeah. But I will say
that he did.
I will say this, even with whatever cheating he may have done, the reality of the situation that I try to remember, and which I think was borne out in the crowd at his parade and these other things, is that the majority of people in the United States voted for Kamala Harris.
Yes.
So, yes.
Oh, okay. Right.
Is
And
that-
then now we have, because they
I think
always
that's
have
true
to
still,
cheat.
right? Hold on a second. Popular vote 2020.
By the gerrymandering and all of that, because they cannot win straight up.
Wait a minute.
They
Wait
will.
a minute. Hold on. 70. Shit. Wait a minute. No.
This is why I think that the Republicans that are like, I don't like Trump, but they voted for him are the worst. I really hate them the most. Sorry. But
Oh my God.
They-
He won the popular vote.
yeah.
I fucking forgot he won the popular. But people are. Oh my.
I don't know what I thought you were saying. I thought you were, the electoral call. Yeah, That's why
Well, and the
I'm mad,
popular-
because I don't care. The MAGA people are at least owning it. They are at least like out there, you know, sounding like absolute fools, you know, looking like fools, and like, but it's, to me, it's the people that now are silent
Yeah.
and
No,
like
I don't disagree. I don't disagree.
won't come right.
I-
So, I mean, this has nothing to do with it, but slight transition into Happy Father's Day. So
What's your
my
last
dad
week?
was, we were having dinner, out on the patio with his wife and my younger sister, and it was lovely. And I don't even know how this came about, but he said like he's got a group of guy friends from college, and there's 6 of them, and I know all of them because I mean he's been friends with them forever. And he was like, one of the guys sends liberal articles, and I guess it turned out it was like CNN to the group. And my dad is conservative, and again, like not MAGA. I mean, I think I wouldn't say he's open about not liking Trump. It's not really open about much like that, but I think his wife has said that. So I think that's how I know that. But so his point of bringing this up was the next time it happened, he was going to leave the group, or he was going to stop talking to his friend or something.
What?
Like he was going to do an exit, and he talked to another guy because the other 5 in the group were all conservative. There's only one liberal. And, you know, like at first I was like tracking with it, like I'm trying to think like his perspective. Like if I got sent these articles, I'm like kind of tracking that way the whole time. And then he's like, I'm going to, you know, cut it off. And then somehow it came about. I think I might have said like, well, you know, what did you say when you talked to him? Like, does he just continues? You told him to stop and he just like continues? Like, that is a little bit questionable. He's like, well, I haven't said anything.
Yep.
to him.
Yes. Oh my God. Dudes are
go,
so ridiculous.
But you said something to your other friend?
Right.
So you gossiped with your other friend about how you were gonna get out and like
bring
cause
it
a
up to him,
scene, but not give him like
the
the
even
fair
the benefit of like,
hey, we've been friends for decades. Like, listen, I know maybe we've never had this out, but these are my feelings, and
please stop saying
and
that
this
stuff
is
to me.
I don't appreciate that.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think that's a healthy relationship, but still I could get behind that. Okay, even rejecting. But so his wife was like aghast because she knew this situation, but she assumed
that he had reached out.
He had spoken with him.
Way to go with these follow-up questions.
And had that conversation. What?
Way to go with the follow-up questions. I mean, those were really...
Okay, so I'm unlearning that I can ask questions.
Yes, that's right.
I told my stepmom, you know, I told her that I just looked, because it's not about, I said, I'm having to relearn or her unlearn that all conflict is bad, and that we can not talk through uncomfortable things.
Right. What did she say? Was she like,
I think I probably, and maybe this is self-conscious, I feel like I made her uncomfortable because I really locked in on her. Like, these people don't understand, but I'm telling you I'm on a different path.
Right.
And I'm like going into the light or whatever. But so, all right. So then I was like, Dad, that's, you know, really honestly, like, I don't think that's fair. Like, I don't think, like, I think I said, I don't think I would cut off someone without, like, unless they were dangerous or something.
Somebody you've been friends with for that long.
Yeah. And I think they've since high school. So, and he said, well, what would you do if you had 5 conservative friends in a group text and they were sending these articles? And I said, Dad, I wouldn't have 5 conservative friends.
What did he say?
Nothing to say. I mean, it was probably
he
like
said, what if you had 5 liberal progressive friends and one of them is sending Trump articles to the group?
Yeah. Okay, so your reaction makes me know that was just a jab at him of like immature, me wanting him to know like I don't respect the conservative values, therefore I wouldn't have those friends instead of
immature jab on your.
Well, I followed it up with
the question that he asked you. But
and I also you're right. But that was his technical, if we're gonna be factual, his question was what if? And in that it's not for me to change.
No,
Whatever.
I think that what if is still like, that wouldn't happen to me. So that's not, I can't respond to that because I think that's a completely
True.
legitimate answer.
And then I said, but if I did, I would absolutely. And I was like, this is sorry, but I would absolutely kind of like take a thrill in reading it.
Of course.
And in one of two
Right, like,
things.
why are you taking
either
it so
changing my
offensively
mind
and aggressively
about something
Yeah.
or roasting your ass about how dumb it is.
So what did he say?
And either one is joyous to me
yeah,
because I'm okay with both. I'm okay with
yes.
like being fucking wrong
Yes.
and like admitting it because I think that's exciting.
It's funny. Like it's funny. It's fun. Like I completely agree. Like that is
Just
engaging
roasted
in
him one after another.
intellectual back and forths, even if they're like silly and funny and snarky, is like a great way to like actually build a relationship with a person and a friendship.
Right.
a
And you
friendship.
learn more and you become closer if
Saying
you
it, like the full circle of like the hard conversations are actually like some of the really the best ones that we can have in terms of like building relationships. Like you're missing out on an entire aspect of this relationship that you could have with these people.
but he will never go there.
Never gonna-
Like I don't
He's never
he's never because that would make him confront. So but that taught me so much. So like that means he wouldn't even read. There's no point in me ever sending him anything.
if his friend
Because
from
his
high-
mind is made up.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And how
And he's
sad.
not willing to change it ever.
I wonder if he was
And
always
how dare
like
you?
that.
Yeah.
Like as a child, as a kid growing up. Like I wonder when that happened.
I think it's an identity
When
he
the hard-
established because maybe like a low self-esteem or a shame. So it's like, I'm going to latch on to this identity
When I
and
think
it's
men are
morality, Christianity.
kind of pressured to be like very confident and very sure of themselves and very sort of like, but I'm curious.
'Cause if
It would
you're
be interesting to
wrong-
me if there was a way that, because you're like, on this path and like those follow-up questions were like so amazing, like where you could explore, like when did you think that, like when in your life
Yeah.
did
Amy,
you
that's
start,
the farthest
Mhm.
I've ever gone with him. That's the most I've ever pushed him.
and it sounds
he-
like it went well, right?
He didn't know. I hadn't finished and not much more, but he said he was starting to get like
Oh, no
heated.
way.
Well, yeah, because
Just to that-
he
just to
felt
question.
shame. He felt shame because it was me and his wife, and I can't remember. I think my sister was silent, but
Shit.
we were saying, Dad, like
What are you doing?
you were in. I think you're actually in the wrong here. We love you, objectively,
Defensive.
but
Like very like reactionary.
you were reading this wrong, and I think you should rethink it. And like he was being called out, I guess, by two people, and that's tough. And he is not used to that because, well, his wife is like that, which is wonderful. But my role has been to. So then he said, so he's getting like, well, who do you think? No, he said, Fox News. I mean, why can't I just read Fox News? What is the difference between Fox and CNN? They're the same, they're equivalent. And then,
the CNN, why do you refuse to read the CNN articles if they're the same?
well, it's like a straw man's argument. It's
Right.
like, that's what he would bring up. But his wife jumped on that and was like, Robert, like, no, they have had suits, liability, for defamation. Like they are an entertainment, they're not real news. And I'm just like living like, oh my God,
Being in
you
front of
shouldn't see
me.
too much here. Cause she's liberal and they're, yeah,
A person can do that. I don't understand.
I don't think you can. So he's talking about, what is truth? We don't know. He asked me if I trusted the media, which was actually a great question because my mind has changed where I once would have said like relatively, yeah, like 95%. Now, no conspiracy, but I just don't
Yeah,
because I know they are persuaded towards certain
Right.
stories for interest
They're
for people
incentivized
controlling
to
it.
tell a certain story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not even like that malicious. It's not like there's money
It's
being exchanged.
capitalism.
It's capitalism. It's, do you want this job?
Right.
Do you want to continue in this role?
That's right.
Okay, this is
Do you
what
still
you're
want
going to
this
do. And this is
money
what you're not going to do.
in advertising? Like,
Yeah.
then
Yes,
you're going to say
we're not going to
this.
lose these
Yeah.
sponsors.
Yeah.
So, and that in that fashion. No, I don't trust the media as much. But that wasn't the question. He said, who do you think would win if they like debated over this hypothetical fucking articles that he's never going to read and hasn't read? And I was like, he would.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just looked straight at me and was like, who do you think would win? And I said, again, he would. And he said, who do you think would win? And I was like, I think it was almost like crazy. Like, have I my entire life like just copped out at that first, who do you think would win? And said, you would, that he just wouldn't take. And I go,
That's crazy.
nothing against you and nothing like pro him. He just has the facts on his side. And I'm confident at this point in time, whatever they are, whatever the thing is, he is going to be more right than
He's
you.
closer to the truth than you are, Dad.
'Cause he's actually reading a fucking article.
Uh-huh. How did he take
So-
that? Bad.
Obviously, it was like Groundhog Day. It was really, that was the most bizarre part for
I'm
me.
so
was
sorry. That sounds difficult.
No! It was so good. And like, asked me how much shame, anxiety, and guilt I had afterwards. Lots. But I also was like so glad because I think in a normal, healthy environment where like communication is encouraged and like anything can come out, like that would have been nothing. There would have been no,
Right.
I don't know. It wouldn't have been tense at all. Like we're allowed to like,
He's just like,
do
no,
these-
you have to be on my side because I'm your dad.
I think he's more like, do not put me in this position to have to talk about this. Like that's the kind of covertness I'm used to. It's like, how dare you bring this up so that we have to address it?
Now we have to say
whatever it is.
Uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you don't bring up anything. I don't know. Like don't make me uncomfortable by
Right.
confronting the facts.
Yikes. I'm sorry, dude. But it sounds like you are crushing it. You're crushing the game.
I guess hopefully I didn't crush him.
I'm sure
No.
it'll be fine.
I mean, I hope he self-reflects.
I
Like,
do too, yeah.
I wish I would have honed in on that more. Like, Dad, you love reading.
Right.
You
like,
read,
just
like, you talk about 7 books at a time.
right.
You wake up in the morning, that's what you do. If it was like, if that wasn't your thing, reading, like, but just, I don't know.
And you can take a horse to water, you know.
You can. And then we end up in a war.
Yeah. I mean, we're in a fucking war now, so that's true.
But even that is, you can't say that because it's been ruined. People are like, you're overreacting.
Well, the
nothing's-
good thing about that is like not about that, but about there is no good thing. We're in fucking war with Iran. But like there are very high profile MAGAs that are like, I don't want to go. Marjorie Taylor Greene is like super against the war. Tucker Carlson is super against the war. Steve Bannon, super against the war.
Tucker.
There are so many times on that where I was like, oh my God, Tucker Carlson is funny as shit.
Yeah,
'Cause
this
he
is like a new
Oh.
corn category of like idiots on idiots, idiots ripping idiots.
Hey, Tucker Carlson, yeah, because I was like, oh my God, is he smart? Like, is he funny? When he was like,
Yeah.
when Ted Cruz,
In path, hey,
yeah,
different paths, end result,
many things can be true, right? We all contain multitude.
multifaceted.
But like him saying, Ted Cruz being like, be a little less snarky. And Tucker Carlson being like, yeah, sorry, that is true. That is a problem that I have. I thought that was like peak fucking comedy. Like peak fucking comedy. And I'm not doing
Ted
it.
Cruz is such a dweeb, but yet he's like in one of the most powerful positions in our country. So yet again, nothing matters.
Right.
I mean, I think principles, circling back like, 17 topics ago, there were principles. I used to have principles. Now I'm realizing principles always lose.
Yeah. And
When
I
you
mean,
have,
what do we mean when we say principle? And
I mean, principled is like, you want to play fair. Like, you're not going, okay. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Yeah, that's great. And people are in 6 hours or 6 days or 6 months, whenever she's back for Trumpy,
right.
McDonald over here,
Right.
people are going to screenshot her tweets.
Yeah. And they're going to be like,
And it is not going to matter. People are doing that with Trump right now about how he said Obama's gonna get us in
Nobody
the
cares
war.
about any, but you're right. Like, nobody cares about that.
Truth doesn't matter. I don't know where we go with this.
Yeah, no.
Like, I used to think, like, you say, oh, I got the screenshots. Like, that used to mean something.
But I will also say what's happening right now in terms of the war with Iran, it's like deja vu from war with Afghanistan and Iraq back in the early 2000s. Like
I was a baby.
there have been like changes that have made it worse, but it's always been, everything has been built on a web of fucking lies that were easier to feed and to accept as, you know, you're the people in the country, and now it's just warped into something else. But I think
Military complex?
it was always the same. It's like manifesting in different ways now, because like Iran is responding to getting bombed, and Trump is telling everyone that we did the bombing on Twitter. Like, that, think about how fucking crazy that is. How fucking crazy that feels.
But,
like,
okay, principled.
We bombed, but like
Obama has even come out, and it's kind of like too late. I mean, but he's like, what if I
had done
did
any of
this?
But the truth is, he's
But
also a war criminal, because he was drone attacking these people.
Okay, don't straw man this. I mean,
They're all war criminals.
What I mean, not this specific situation. You could say it for any number of things Trump has done this week.
Right.
Like, or last week, Obama could say, what if I would have done that?
That is true.
So what I'm saying is Obama, in my mind, is principled. Like,
well,
I think he's...
That's what I was responding to, is that like...
That you don't think he's principled.
I don't really think I don't think to be able to get to that place and power based on the system in which we're operating.
Yeah. Okay.
And get there.
I'll agree with that. Then how about we have to at least do like levels then?
No,
because you can
definitely. I mean, but then again, Joe Biden sent all these.
My dad brought that up.
Billions, but he did to Israel to explode little Palestinian babies. I think.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's not what my dad brought up. He brought up, I mean, can you believe the cognitive decline they were hiding? Where do you think you read that? Or watched that?
You lost the plot, Adrienne's dad.
You've
lost the plot, Adrienne's dad. It's gone.
It's because it's like they need their own fucking bubble plot, their head in the sand plot of like.
I agree with that. I agree.
Everything's fine. I'm not racist. I don't, want to think about the cruel things. I just don't want it to happen to me.
Yeah.
And go to church on Sunday.
Boomers are, by and large, not all of them, of course, but by and large, are emotional ostriches. What did we say they were? What do we call them?
You called them that. I called them emotionally avoidant. But obviously yours is better.
Stop.
Is it because ostriches put their head in sand?
Or at least...
Well,
that's the thing that was like, that's where head in the sand comes from, is ostriches putting their heads in the sand.
I think that was you owning me while I thought I was owning you. And that was a lot of owned gold like Hank Brennan.
The idiom burying your head in the sand refers to deliberately ignoring a problem or unpleasant situation. The phrase's etymology is rooted in a misconception about ostriches. While the idiom suggests ostriches hide,
but they're very open,
by burying their heads in the sand, this is a myth. The phrase used metaphorically for human behavior. Oh, I'm the one. You dunked on me. The phrase used metaphorically for human behavior originated in the early 17th century, drawing on the idea that the ostrich, when faced with danger, believes hiding its head in the sand makes it invisible. So it started with a misconception about ostriches.
Well, no, I think that's exactly what humans and, like my dad are doing.
That's what it means. So emotional.
It's danger. It's emotional danger, but
emotional
danger nonetheless.
Danger.
Hey, how dare you bring that to my ostrich head?
Yeah. And quite frankly,
I cannot be unfeathered.
It's also related to the allegory of the cave, the Platonic allegory of the cave back in the
cave days?
The Western philosophical origins of philosophy was like that. When you're in the cave, you're not really seeing reality. You're just seeing the shadows that are dancing along the cave's wall with the light that's coming in. And you think that those shadows are real. But when you come out of the cave, right, you see what is the actual
Actually real.
what's actually creating the shadows. So you were seeing the shadows of what was real, you know, when you come out of the cave, which is basically what Red Pill is trying to say, and which I think is kind of
What? Have you taken this pill? This is
you know how I'll take just about any pill.
guys. Actually, do the red pill. I'm Republican now.
Red Pill is supposed to be about seeing the truth, not about being a Republican, but it is red.
Okay. Damn, we gotta take that back.
You've seen The Matrix? That is a
Yes.
thing about the
But-
Matrix.
But okay.
Which
All right, then we'll stick to the Matrix. I think it just got.
taking from the allegory of the cave. So, you know, nothing is new, I guess.
Oh, I love that. I love patterns, so I'll look that back. I think it was just ruined by Elon. Oh, my dad has his book. His like.
Dude, he didn't write that.
Roasted.
He didn't even write that. A ghostwriter wrote that, you know?
Yeah, but
1,000
I don't know if.
I would love, that's honestly something how you were talking about, you would like a confirmation about the malicious obedience of the officer of the army, and that, you know, that's
Yes.
something you want to know.
Yes.
I really want it to be revealed without any doubt that Elon Musk used a ghostwriter for that book. But go ahead. I just can't
So lame.
write it.
It's so lame.
He would be able to sit down and write a book.
But I think that's something he would even admit. Like that's not like his thing. He's not going around like my book, right?
I hate him so much, Adrienne.
I hate him too, but that's not the hill I'd die on. He is shameless. I think I'm more mad at the people that have enabled these obviously toxic, at the very least, like dangerous fucking psychopaths. And y'all sheep didn't see it. And now y'all being herded off the cliff
It's happening.
with us.
It's happening, guys.
You.
Well, but the problem
For
isn't them, though, really.
Making
It's the fact that he's the richest man in the world, so he literally bought the election. He buys whatever he wants.
That's what I'm saying, though. That's what I was saying.
Well, right. So it's not really the sheep's fault. It's not really those people's fault. It's capitalism's fault. It's the fault of like the oligarchy.
Yeah. Well, okay. They're
One
joint
individual
fault.
person who voted because they don't have critical thinking, it's not their fault. It's in my opinion, it's the malicious
Eh.
intentions backed by the most riches on the planet Earth, literally. Do you know that this
Okay, I hate them for being fraudulent and cheating and manipulative, and I hate the sheep for being weak.
but the sheep
I
were
said it.
But the sheep were made weak. They were manufactured to be weak. It is only us, Adrienne, who have
Yeah.
the creative. We can't blame the
Truth
sheep
tellers.
for. I think I have a hard time blaming one individual, right? Because
Yeah.
they turned out the way that every single thing in their life made them, and it's the system.
That's true. That's true. That's true. That's true.
The system.
That's true. That's relative. I agree. I agree, but
Honestly, who wouldn't want to listen to this conversation, right? Like,
I still hate them.
I mean, I'm mad at them too. But like, look at how we've deftly, seamlessly navigated through like, well, how many different things have we talked about?
Everything important, nothing true.
Because I actually think my phone
5
is gonna die
waters.
here pretty soon, and it's the thing that's giving